Okay, we're in the Buick, and it is a day in the life, and what a surprise. I'm going to turn down some of these things. What a surprise. A new snowstorm is coming, so we are expecting Snowmageddon, and everyone here is still bracing for a snowstorm that they remember either in 1991, which was Halloween night. It was momentous. Everybody here, you ask somebody that's lived in Minnesota, where were you on this day? And they'll remember Snowgeddon. But we've got snow coming, and there are two snowstorms that are also very famous in March and April. So the chances of us having a real blast is very high. So what happens when you have Snowmageddon? Or the impending kind of snow coming in, is you kind of like get real weird. You go to the grocery store, you make sure that you don't have to leave for days, and you have this kind of buzz. So going to the grocery store yesterday, so today is Saturday, so today I am dropping off. I'm still having a revolution in my living room. And all the other things are now the safety needs have changed differently. So I don't know what day we're on. I think I'm at 102 or 104 of the revolution in my living room. And great news, not getting tear gassed anymore. That's nice. And so there's a little bit of a there's some state protection over us. I'm not getting followed. That's nice when we're delivering food. And so there's Metro Surge has changed. It's not gone. We still have real problems. Real problems for everyone that got picked up. Whether you did anything wrong or not, you still have a charge. So that's about 7,000 we're finding. 7,000. So we have all of these wonderful people who have been helping out with lawyers, and lawyers stepping up to the plate and really doing the work. But we also now have evictions. And, if you're a landlord, you'd like to get paid because you can't work for free either. And then you have all these restaurants that are closed. I mean, they just are like, oh, we can't do this. So you have businesses that have changed. You have a lot of economic uncertainty, and we have civil unrest. But the civil unrest is at a place now where people feel, oh, okay, I can think about this. That doesn't mean that people don't still want to eat today. So what is new for me this week is Snowmageddon is coming. Right now it's Saturday, so I have all these things to do. So I went and worked out with my son because we're getting, we're getting new habits. And so we went and worked out with my son and Tegan. And they are, 25 years younger than me, and Tegan's 28 years younger than me. So they are young and strong, and I'm not. So it is very funny, but they take care of me like a little old lady, and I just eat that up. They put my little weights together, and they bring me a little thing to wipe my spot off. It's just heavenly. It's just heavenly. It's just so good. And so now I am like running to the bank. So I have a list of things that I still have to do. I had to run home and talk to my friends in Saudi. So my morning time is their nighttime, but their son turned 16, and they work for the American schools, and they are getting the shit bombed out of them right now. And they are just 5 miles from the U.S. Embassy. And, everybody's like, yeah, it's not going to happen. You're not going to get all of this bombing. And of course they are. And they have a school, and they have 400 students, and, it's just craziness. So they are they are in a shelter-in-place order. And so they're back to kind of COVID lives and managing students, from across the world. And, people are flying out. There's all these flight issues. So I just needed to see their face, love on them. And they know my place. So they know that while I'm not having a bomb dropped on me, we are having something very different. And they recognize it. Now, Kirsten and Alexander is who I'm talking about. But Mila is 16. And he's made the decision. He's made the decision that, one, he still remembers me eating his cheeseburger. He remembers me driving him around in a beautiful Jaguar because he loved cars when he was little. But he's decided that he is going to become an airplane pilot, and he can work for Saudi Air, or, he's got some choices because, they're international. So anyway, today I got to tell him, well, wherever you're going to fly. He's like, well, am I going to be on commercial or private? I said, oh, I don't care what you're flying. I'm flying. And whatever flying we're doing, we're going to have some McDonald's together. And he goes, oh, and you're going to eat my other cheeseburger? I said, you were a little kid, and it was a 2 cheeseburger meal. You only asked for 1. And he's like, but you didn't give it to me. I said, well, I didn't know you wanted it. So anyway, so now he'll have to have his own 2 cheeseburger meal, I guess. So we laughed at that, but he's 16 and young and strong and just everything. And they got a dog. So that was great. So I got to talk to my friends, and I love them so much. And Alexander, I quote him a lot because when he was in America the first time that this president was in office, he patted my head and he just goes, oh, Mickey, this is your very first dictator. And I was like, he can't win. And now I'm in round 2, and he's like, oh, Mickey. And now I'm, now it's all this time later, and I'm running a revolution out of my living room. So it's hilarious. So the other side of this, so now I have to go to the bank. My friend VJ and I teach class together, and we split the money. And this time everyone paid him the money. So he was the money keeper. And this check right here, I'm running to the bank as well, because this little check is all the extra stuff that I have been getting rid of. And I brought it to a resale stop, and they give me 40% of everything they sell. So I made $108. I actually made $158, but I spent $50 on more stuff. So the goal is always to get in and out of there without buying more stuff. Sometimes I don't do a very good job. So I sold 150, but a third of that I spent back. So figure that out. So it's still a net gain, but the check from that space I use to send kids to school. So I feel really bad about spending the money. It is my money, but I just in my mind would like it to go for something else. So just feeling it, and that's really for school supplies. So either sending someone to school or getting school supplies for that school. There are 4 schools around the globe that I've been sending to. Well, actually, there's 14 here in the United States too. So $100 doesn't go very far, but it's $100, and I'm great at school supplies. The other thing that is very exciting today, when I park at the bank, I'll show you what's in this car. And so Saudi's getting bombed. The revolution is still going on. I finally got paid from my friend VJ, which is very funny. He had to actually pay me, but he doesn't have any checkbooks, and I don't have the Cash App that he has. And I had said to him, look, I know that you're just doing this class as a fun thing, but I'm an actual business. So just send me a check and I'll put it in my business account. And he just couldn't figure that out. So he ended up going to the store, buying me tons of chocolate and other gifts, and putting them in a FedEx box and sending that with me with cash. So I have this nice little wad of cash that I'm going to be bringing to the bank because I'm still a business. So still got to put that in. You still got to, figure out the earnings. You're better off always to put it in the bank and figure out the taxes as opposed to evading the taxes. You don't need to run from taxes. Taxes are not a bad thing if you're a sole proprietor. So there's that. The other thing that is happening this week is I got another chance to talk about civil unrest. So they are paying me to go across the state and teach again, and I get to teach live, and I like that. My class that went back to live is now also back to Zoom, so I get really interesting things. So my class at Head Start is back to being online, so we get all of these parents that we don't normally get. And this last week, I had an entire classroom of single fathers, and it was amazing to have them see each other. The youngest was 23 and the oldest was 34. So they got to see each other and talk about being single dads. And they went, "Is everyone here a single dad?" Yes, everyone was a single dad. And I love this. I love this so much. Okay, so I'm at my destination, which is now the bank. But as you can see, the car is filled with food, so much food. Let's see what else is here. So these right here are the bubble dresses. So these are for the kids' wedding. So I take all of that with me, and wait till you see this other little thing. OMG. I mean, this is for the bubble boy. So we have worked on wedding this morning. We have lots of fresh food here. This is all, what is this? This is bread and crackers. This is home goods right here. This is my Walgreens bag. And let's just review. I have never had medication that was $3.83. This is from this week. I had a really hard week. I had jaw surgery for 2.5 hours, and I was in so much pain and crying and just so sad. But I didn't know that all of this trauma response would come out. So I just had all of this uncontrollable crying and grief, and just, I was going through it. My friend Sarah came and gave me healing last night. So that was like, thank you. And my husband called the dentist, and he's like, "We are calling the dentist." Like, I'm crying in my spaghetti. And I'm like, at 11 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, I have to go back to bed. So sent me these pills. I get $6. I get 6 pills. And boy, do they help. So that's my exciting news. And my exciting news out of this Walgreens bag I will share with you is the other things you find at Walgreens on the clearance section, which is Hydrate. So if you haven't tried any of these, they're kind of wonderful. They're little electrolyte things that you put in your water. Because it's coming to that season. But my big win is triple lumification. I don't know what this is going to do, but lift and luminate triple action. We'll see. We'll see how it works. It was marked down. So let's see, how much did I pay for my... Let's just pull out my receipt that's so long. Yes, so my eye serum was on sale with $23 off. So mine was $9.89, regular price $32.99. So that was my big deal. Some lift. I might even put some on the car. I might even do that in the car. And then the other thing that's under here, way under here, this is for the women's retreat. Oh, I didn't think you can even see it. This is a box for the women's retreat. This is all fruits and vegetables, wedding, personal care items. So this is shampoo, conditioner, soft foods. There's so many bananas in here. And then the other pack. And then I got a whole other load of it back there. So right now I'm going to go to the bank, and that's very exciting. And then I'm going to drive across town to the secret food shelf that we have going on. I'll deliver all of this. I'm also meeting someone else there so we can, Bashir, we're going to adopt Bashir's family and give him a whole house. So we've been just kind of putting stuff over in the, so Bashir he's been helping us so much for free or for food, and because we can't pay him legally, but we just help him. But we are getting everything ready because he's going to get kicked out of the homeless shelter and he's going to have to find housing. And with everyone being evicted, I'm sure he'll find housing. But nobody will rent you if you don't have an ID or if you don't have a job or whatever. So we have some real things, but we're prepping for it. So I'm meeting my friend Sarah, who's been gathering things for Bashir's home. He has 4 sons. One is in a wheelchair. And so there's just a lot to manage in that family. And so that's it. That's my life. That's a day in the life. And then tonight, I'm going to have dinner with my friend from Tanzania, who I love dearly. So we're gonna sit down and just, hear about his life. So that's today. See ya.